Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby and I'm with Fitness is Medicine, and I'm traveling this week. So you may notice it looks a little bit different with my backdrop. And I know that it's difficult to work out when you're traveling. There's things that you have to do, there you feel like you should relax, but it's hard actually to get back into it when you get home if you don't keep the routine up. So keeping it up, keep moving while you're traveling is really important. It can also be difficult to find a place to exercise when you're traveling. It's not your normal thing. You're not your normal setup. There's a lot of body weight exercises we can do and a lot of exercises we can do with a band. So I'm going to show you some easy things we can do to still get a good workout while you're traveling. So I'm going to start today with walkouts. So a walkout essentially is a modified burpee. And if you know what a burpee is, it's, the full version is a jump, and you go down, and you plank back, and then you come forward, and then you come back up and you jump. You can even add a push-up to it, and if you are able to do those, go ahead and start with those. Remember, always start with a warm-up before you get going on something like this, but I'm going to show you what a walkout looks like. We've done them in the past. All you need is a space that's about, as long as you are, so you can do it in between a bed, in between your beds at a hotel or, at the foot of the bed. There's usually space where you can do this. I'm going to be doing this whole workout within about a 6-foot square space, so you don't need a ton of space. So walking out, you walk out into a plank and then walk back up. That's one. If you have trouble with this, then you could start at like a coffee table, like this. Bend down, walk your feet back to a plank, then walk back up, and then stand up. So we can modify this many different ways. This would be, maybe where to start if you're not sure if you can walk all the way out. But this is a great way to start moving and getting warmed up. Walking out, you can either do it with your knees bent, like I'm doing right here, and then stand up, or you can do it straight leg and walk out. When you walk out to that plank, make sure your wrists are right under your shoulders. And stand back up. If you have low back pain, make sure you bend your knees with this one. And if you are finding that's really not that hard and you need a little bit more of a challenge, try a burpee. You can go down to your hands, stop your feet back, come forward, and then stand up. You can even add a little jump at the top. You can really modify this whole sequence to where you need it to be to work out for you. Burpees are a great full body workout. If you can do 10 burpees in a row, do it. That's great. But 10 walkouts can also be a pretty good challenge. So try one of those along the way, using a coffee table or a chair, the walkout or the burpee, and one of those should really give you a good challenge. Okay, next we're going to do a side lunge with a reach. So I want you to start with your feet together, and I want you to reach out to the side. So we're going to do 10 on one side. I want you to twist your body and really reach as far as you can. So we're lunging out to one side, and we're going to do it 10 times. Now, you can really get down and do a really deep lunge here. Make sure you're sitting back over your heel and that your knee is staying straight over that ankle. Really reach each time you go. Get that upper body involved. If that is too much and you have knee or hip pain with this, then I gotta refresh my screen here. Then just do a weight shift. You can step out to the side and reach like this. This is a good balance challenge. Shifting your weight from one foot to the other. Or you can do a little bit deeper of a lunge. Really reach though. Getting that reach across is really important. Sometimes we get stuck in this area here. And getting that side twist and reach. And you can take it as deep as you like. You can get into a nice deep lunge and reach. Okay, now let's do the other side. So we'll start with a weight shift and a reach. I still want you to get a good reach in, just like you're going to reach way over here and try to grab something. Reach over, try a little bit deeper. We're really sitting back. Sit your hips back and keep your knee over that heel that's reaching out to the side, reaching over, and then you can make it nice and deep if you need that challenge and you don't have any pain with it. We're going to do 10 on each side. Now I'm not using any weights here, but this is still getting my heart rate up, using those muscles, and getting a good balance challenge as well. All right, last one. Okay, next we're going to lower to the floor and do a Russian twist. So this is an ab exercise, and I want you to sit up with your knees bent, your heels on the ground, and just sitting right here, I want you to lean back and pretend like you're holding something in your hand. You can hold a tennis ball or a pillow or a beach ball, anything, even with something more weighted. But traveling, you generally don't have dumbbells and medicine balls and things like that. So, you know, you can grab anything, a water bottle, and I want you to twist to each side 10 times. All right, good. If that is challenging for you, if you have any back pain, you can roll a towel up. We've talked about that in the past. Roll a towel up, kind of stick it right there in your sacrum, kind of protect your tailbone. Or you could sit on a pillow. That can also give your tailbone a little bit of support or a little bit of cushioning. Okay, the next one, I have a balloon here, which is really easy to stick in your bag. Doesn't take any space at all, as you know. And I'm going to have you stand on one foot. So I'm going to challenge your balance and have you keep this balloon up in the air. If you don't have a balloon, you could use a beach ball if you're traveling. Beach balls are, you know, fun to have around. Or like I've done in the past with this, you know, you can play catch with a ball, a tennis ball, or a racquetball, or play catch with somebody. If you're traveling with your family, you can get them involved in this and have fun. Okay, left foot, the other foot, switch feet. Try to do each foot for about 30 seconds. Even if you keep losing your balance, it's good to keep working on it, keep challenging it. Don't think, oh, I lost my balance, time to be done. Keep challenging it. So the good thing about having something like a balloon is you're having to reach, you're having to go, you know, move your torso, change your center of gravity, and reach and do all of those things, moving your neck, moving your head, moving your arms. Everything is being challenged here, including your core. So using a balloon can be a really great, fun way to challenge your balance. Okay, last one I'm going to do today with, oh, I missed one. I've got two more to go. First one is a triceps extension. It's easy to put a band in your bag if you're traveling. If you don't, you can even run to the store and grab them. They sell them everywhere now. So I'm going to stand on this band and put my elbow up by my ear like this, and then push straight overhead. I'm going to swing back a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. You push straight overhead. Now, you can challenge yourself like the last one and stand on one foot. But if you're losing your balance and you're not able to do the exercise, stand on 2 feet. Or you could try a tandem stance. But we're really targeting this tricep right here, keeping your elbow right here by your ear and pushing straight up overhead. Sometimes just putting your hand right here to stabilize so that you're not pulling forward. You really just want to push straight overhead. All right, then switch feet so you can stand on the band. Refresh my screen here so I can make sure you're able to see me. All right, stand on that band. We can do a tandem stance maybe to start. And depending on what strength of band you have, you may need, sometimes you can double it up, or if your band isn't long enough, you could sit on it. That's another easy way to do it. So if you're sitting like this and then push it up over, that way if you don't have a very long band, you can still get the same exercise. And that way too, if you need to double it up, if your band isn't quite strong enough, you know, if it's a really light, easy band, you could double it up, and then sitting on it can make it easier to do that doubling up. Okay, that was triceps. Now we're going to move to the front of your arm and do your biceps. So I'm going to have you stand on the band with both feet, or if your band is too short, you can stand on it with one foot. It gives you a little more wiggle room with the length. And again, you can also sit you know, to give yourself that length that you need. I'm going to stand on it with both feet. And keeping your elbows right by your side, curl all the way up and then all the way down. Notice how my hands are going, or my elbows are going all the way straight at the end of this bicep curl. Many people stop here and then they go, and they kind of use that mid-range of their bicep. But you want to strengthen the whole range of your biceps. You want to strengthen all the end fibers as well as the middle fibers. So really working that whole range of motion. Keeping those elbows tucked in at your sides. And you notice too, I'm keeping my torso, my abs and my back nice and straight. I'm not yanking like this. If you're doing this, you've got too much resistance. Give it a little bit of a little extra length. Stand on it with one foot maybe, make it a little easier, especially if you get towards the end of the set. If you start to feel like you're using your back, then change it up and make it a little bit easier or just stop. Okay, I'm going to go through these again because I've got a lot of modifications to all of them and I want to make sure that you get them all. All right, so we're going to start with those walkouts. First, if you're not sure you can do them, put your hands on the coffee table, walk your feet back to a plank, and then stand all the way up. Make sure when you stand up, you kind of bring those hips forward, stack your shoulders over your hips, look forward, and really tuck that chin. We want to have a good posture when you're at the end of that. All right, the next one is a walkout. So I'm going to bend my knees, walk out to a plank, come on back up. I'm coming up nice and tall each time. Don't end here and then go again. You want to come up nice and tall and then go. If you have any wrist pain with this, you can try, using a little bit of your fist like that. You can walk out on your knuckles or, do the coffee table. That might feel better. I know that's a big problem with lots of people, and mostly it's kind of a range of motion thing because we don't have to make our wrists do this. They, maybe stay in this range of motion. So putting them in that extra range of motion can put a little extra tax on them. All right, remember, then you can try it too with your legs bent, but that's much harder on your back if you do have any back pain. All the way out to a plank, all the way back up. And then if you're feeling up to it, you can do a little hop, put your feet down, pop out, pop in, jump. You can also do where you walk out and then walk forward and then come up. So there's a big range of that walkout and burpee, modified burpee exercise. So try it out and let me know what you think. Let me know if you're able to, sometimes you're like, a burpee? No way, I can't do a burpee, but I think if you give it some time, you could do it. Okay, side, that modified one, of course. Side lunge reaches. We're going to start on this side now. So we're going to start with just that weight shift and reach way out to the side, getting that reach. If that feels okay, go a little bit deeper in that lunge. Nice big step out to the side. That helps you keep your joints, your knees and your hips in the right range of motion. And then if you're really ready for it, get that nice deep lunge, really reach, come back to center. I'm sitting way back, so it looks like I'm going to sit down on this ledge behind me, and my knee is staying over my ankle. Those are really important, keeping your weight in your heel. Okay, other side. So we're going to start with that. And whatever range of motion in this one that you need, you keep doing. You don't have to do all three of these. If you're ready for those big lunges or this medium lunge, you go ahead and do that to begin with. You don't have to start with the weight shifts. But if these are too much, do that weight shift with that big reach. And then if you are ready for it, do that deep lunge. Sit back over those heels. And reach over and pet your dog. He's tired from a big hike we did today. And he got to go swimming. Okay, great, lunges. Now, this was where I had my triceps in. Give you a little break in between. So standing on that band, straight up overhead. And if you're not quite feeling it, if you're not getting a good challenge, Make it a little shorter. Elbow by your ear, straight up overhead. Use that other hand if you need to kind of remind that arm to stay put. Pushing it straight up overhead. All right, good. Now, switch sides. I'm going to stand. I'm going to do this on a single leg stance this time. Challenging that balance. If you're able to, find a point in the distance to really focus on. If that's too much, try a tandem stance. And if that's too much, just stand. I'd rather have you stand and have good balance and get this exercise for those arms. All right, next we're going to do those Russian twists. I think I'm going to grab my balloon for my Russian twists, so I have something to hang on to. It can be weighted, it can be not weighted. You can grab like I said, a full water bottle or something like that might be a little bit more of a challenge if you need it. In order to make this one easier, you can bend your knees up and just kind of do this. The longer you make yourself, the harder it is. So if you walk your heels out to here and really bend back, lean back, that's going to be harder than keeping it close in here. But you find what works for you and doesn't cause pain. So find that balance. And the more you twist, too. So if you're here and you're just setting it down on either side, that's kind of the first level. The more you twist your body, the more difficult it is. But if you have any back pain, if you have any disc issues, this big twisting probably is not the right choice for you. So keep it in the smaller range of motion. Okay, balloon, single leg balloon toss. So we're going to stand on one leg and just pop it back and forth. You can pop it, on one hand. I'm going to stand back a little ways here. If you want to try to keep it in one hand the whole time, or chop it back and forth, really challenge yourself to reach and stay on that foot. Just make sure that where you are isn't somewhere, if you do lose your balance and fall, that you're going to hurt yourself. Because if you do have limited space in your home, or if you're traveling in a hotel or something, just make sure that you have, I could do this with this to hang on to, sturdy, or a chair, a good sturdy chair, not a rolling chair, something where you could hang on, because if you do lose your balance, you don't want to fall into some hard surface. Remember to work on each foot for about 30 seconds and challenge each side so that you get a good, you're reaching, you're changing, you're taking your torso off center, and you're really challenging that core and challenging that balance. Also with your toes and your feet and your ankles, they're all getting a really good workout with that. Okay, the last one is bicep curls. So I'm going to grab that band again, stand or sit on it, and then make it as tight or as loose as you need to make sure you're giving your biceps a challenge without any pain. So the other thing you could do is, do it in a tandem stance, do it in a single leg stance. You can always add balance to these exercises. The more you challenge your balance, the better you get at it. And the better your balance is, the less likely you are to fall. So those are all really good things to challenge yourself at any point. You could stand on one foot while you're brushing your teeth, or stand in a tandem stance, things like that. You can always be challenging it to make yourself stronger. All right, great job, everybody. So I just used a band and body weight, and that was it for this. Of course, with my balloon. If you don't have a balloon, they're easy to find and easy to pack. But go ahead and do those through, one or two more times, depending on how you're feeling and your time. And if you're traveling and you don't have a lot of time, even doing something like this through once is still always better than nothing. So work yourself and feel good about yourself and continue to have energy throughout your whole trip. And when you go home, you're still in your routine. So let me know if you have any questions, and the next one will also be a traveling video. So stay tuned. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.